Greetings, this is the group 10 and today we will tackle about correlation and coefficient and scatter. So what is correlation coefficient? A correlation coefficient is a statistical measure that describes the strength and direction of the linear relationship between two variables. It's represented by the letter R and ranges from -1 to +1. And today, the next is types of correlational coefficient. We have the positive correlation, which is this. You see that? Next is the negative correlation. Next is no correlation. Positive, negative, no correlation. Next, for the positive correlation on a scatter plot, a positive correlation would appear as a general upward trend from left to right. For the negative correlation, a negative correlation would appear as a general downward trend from left to right. Zero correlation or no zero correlation, the points on the scatter plot would appear randomly scattered with no clear trend. Correlation between two variables, correlation coefficient shows the measure of correlation. To compare two data sets, we use the correlational formulas. Pearson correlation coefficient formula, the most common formula is the Pearson correlation coefficient used for linear dependency between the data sets. The value of the coefficient lies between -1 to +1. When the coefficient comes down to 0, then the data is considered as not related. While if you get the value of +1, then the data are positively correlated. And -1 has a negative correlation.
The Pearson correlation coefficient, wherein quantity of information, sigma x, total of the first variable value, sigma y, total of the second variable value, sigma x and y, sum of the product of first and second value, sigma x squared, sum of the square of the first value, sigma y squared, sum of the squares of the second value.
Right now, we are going to solve an example and steps on how to calculate a correlational coefficient. The first step is we need to multiply x and y to get the sum of x and y. We need to multiply this, the 1 and 2 from x and y, which is 2, and 2 and 4, which is 8, and 3 and 7, which is 21, and so on. Okay, the next step is to find the x squared. You just need to multiply this by itself, which is 1 multiplied by 1 is equals to 1, 2 multiplied by 2 is equals to 4, and 3 is multiplied to 3 is 9. Next step is y squared. We need to get the square of y. First step is to find where is the y. Here is the y. First one is to find the square root of 2, which is 4. Square root of 4 is 16. Square root of 7 is 49. Square root of 9 is 81. Square root of... We need to sum all of them, which is we need to get the sigma x sum the value of x here.
1 plus 2 equals to 3, 3 plus 3 is equals to 6, 6 plus 4 is equals to 10, 10 plus 5 equals to 15, and 15 plus 6 is equals to 21, so your x is 21. The next one is, just follow the process. 2 plus 4 plus 7 plus 9 plus 12 plus 14 is equals to 48. Just follow again this pattern, you just need to add that all of them, which is 211. Follow again and again. And we have 91 and 490. Now we use this formula to get the answer for the Pearson correlation coefficient formula, which is R is equals to, how many n are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6n, which is this. And how much is the sigma xy? It's 211. And you copy the sigma x is 21, and this up. You need to put the y. The next thing is, you put it in 6. Your x squared is 91. And then you put in here. Put sigma x is 21 squared. You forget the square. You need to put 6 here. And you put the y. Sigma y is 48. The next is, oh, sigma y squared. I'm so sorry. Sigma y squared is 490 minus sigma y is 48 squared. Now, we need to compute all of this. We follow the steps like first, multiply this 2, which is, let me use my calculator. Oh. Six times 211 is 1,266 minus 21 times 48 is 1,008. Next is, you multiply 6 and 91, we have 546 minus 21 squared is 441. You need to multiply also the 6 and 490, which is 2,940 minus 48 squared is how much? It's 2,304. Now compute this all up and we have the R is equals to 258 over square root of 105.64 is equals to, you need to get the square root. The square root is 6,708. And you need to divide this all up into divide, and we have the R is equals to 0.998. Or is equals to, you need to round this up and we get the exact number of 1.00.
So we have the interpretation of the R is 1.00, which is perfect positive correlation. Period.
Now grouping, what is a scatter plot? A scatter plot, or also known as scatter diagram, is a type of graph that represents the relationship between two variables. Each point on the scatter plot represents a pair of data points, one for each variable. The horizontal axis, x-axis, typically represents the independent variable, and the vertical axis, y-axis, represents the dependent variable.
So that's the presentation of Group 10. And thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from it. And that's all. Thank you.